to help us talk all things prom. So apparently 85% of schools now in the UK have a prom, and we thought that seemed like a good opportunity for us to help you all out with getting ready for it, because obviously it's a really big night, right? So today we launched into our app store, on the App Store and Apple Newsstand, an app called Company Prom, and it's got everything you could possibly need to know about shopping for your prom, music to listen to, hair, beauty, all that great stuff. And on the cover of it is none other than Olivia Purvis, who, hello Olivia, who we've known for a long time on Company. We love her. We love her blog, which is called What Olivia Did. It's whatoliviadid.com. You can find her on Twitter at Liv Purvis. And in fact, if you want to tweet any of us during this hangout, please do with any more prom-related questions. And then I've also got Nat sitting there.
Hey!
Hi! And Nat is our beauty assistant here at Company, and she is also a YouTube aficionado because she does a weekly beauty haul for Company magazine on our YouTube channel. And she's an expert in prom hair and makeup, aren't you, Nat?
Yes, very much so, or at least I like to think so.
So I'm going to kick off just by asking you both, why do we think prom's become such a big thing in the UK? Olivia?
I don't really know. I think it's a big thing to do with what goes on in America, because I know it's such a big thing out there, like with the wrist corsages and the whole like big prom dresses, and I think it has kind of spread over to the UK quite a lot. And I mean, I was saying that I've only had a leavers ball, so I think in the recent years it has become more of a big thing and like something to get really hyped up about. And I kind of wish I really had that, because I look back and I'm like, oh, I really wish I could have had a beautiful prom dress and a tiara like yours.
Exactly, yeah, look, and this is a virtual tiara as well, amazing. So Nat, you're Australian, so what about in Australia? Do we have proms there?
Well, I mean, they're not called proms as such, but we do have dances at the end of the year. And funnily enough, I decided to go as Marilyn Monroe to mine. It wasn't a dress-up. I decided, why not? But yeah, it was heaps of fun. And I think that, you know, dances are always going to be huge news. It's you get together with all your friends, you have a party. It's just a little bit of fun.
And you get to wear amazing dresses. So Liv, we gave you that opportunity. You didn't get it at your own prom, but we've dressed you up in amazing dresses for our app, haven't we? I did try and get it on my phone to show you all, but I figured it doesn't look so good that way. You need to download it. It's free, so you may as well. But yeah, Liv looks amazing. So how was that shoot? Did you enjoy it?
It was so much fun. I felt like in one of the dresses, the white one on the cover, I felt like a bride. It was so beautiful. Well, I was just like, I felt like you felt like a real princess wearing all these dresses, and some of them I was just like, oh my god, do I get to wear this? I felt like I had to be really careful, but no, it was so much fun, so much fun.
So still in that vein, do we think that you can ever kind of go too over the top for prom?
No. I think it's a teenage like wedding, like, well, it's not, but kind of it's nice to have that kind of build up to it, and buy a dress you think, do you know what, I'm going to wear it once, but I'm going to feel so special in it, and you only live once, don't you? So it's nice to make the most of it when you get the chance. I wish I kind of had that big prom day, and so it's good to do it.
Totally, I think that's the thing. I think you might as well go for it. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions now that we got in through Twitter. So this is one from @StrandOnBeauty. Where's the best place to find a dress for prom that won't break the bank? So some of these dresses, even some of the ones that we shot in our app, which we love, they are huge amounts of money. So what do you recommend, though, Liv, for places where maybe if you haven't got hundreds and hundreds of pounds to spend?
Do you know what, I know it sounds like kind of the obvious answer, but I love finding vintage dresses, like going into cool vintage shops. And I know people are like, oh, but it's really hard, you're never going to find one. But I think recently, going to shops like Beyond Retro, I've found some real gems. And they kind of, especially around this time of year, they kind of have a nice selection out, and they're so well priced, and no one else has them. And that's like good for like things like eBay or places like Etsy, where you can have a real rummage and you will find a gem that no one else has. I mean, even in places like Topshop, I love all the concessions downstairs, and they have such a massive selection, from like more expensive to things that are more like on a budget. And I think there is definitely something for everyone, but I definitely think vintage shopping is kind of the way forward.
Yeah, because it's a good way to avoid that sort of horror moment of turning up with somebody else in exactly the same dress, which would be horrendous.
When we had prom, like, well, the leavers ball, everyone had this like Facebook page where everyone had to kind of say what they were wearing, so no one else had it.
That's a good idea. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, so Nat, here's one for you.
Yeah.
So this is from @PrettyBluebirds. So what's the best way to make sure that your curls, this says, but presumably that's any kind of fancy do, drops as soon as you get there?
Well, I mean, with curls, I guess the thing that everyone does is that you tong your hair and then you let it go straight away. So while it's hot, it's dropping. So the key is that when you curl your hair, to put it up into your pin curl, which goes up onto your head. So it'll just be like how the barrel already does it. And then you get one of these great little pins, which I love, and you pin it in so that it holds it into place. So you can walk around, have a cup of tea, do whatever you want while it's cooling. And so then when you drop it, it's cooled into that position instead of dropping as it's heat. Also, if you hate hairspray, I'm not a massive fan of hairspray because I've got really fine hair, so I use a mousse, and this fringe don't budge.
So you use the mousse on your wet hair?
Yes, yeah, use a mousse. It's got to be towel dry, and then you want to run it all the way through and then just style it as you normally would.
Amazing. Amazing. That's a really good tip. Okay, I'm going to go back to Liv now. So this is from @HeartbeatLaura. What kind of colour shoes do you wear with a light blue and cream dress? Presumably any light coloured dress or nude dress, or do you do bright shoes with that, or do you do a nude shoe with that?
You know what, I really like silver shoes at the moment. Like a bit of that sparkle. I mean, I've seen a lot of pairs in places like Zara who do a really cool metallic shoe, and I think that's a really fun way of kind of livening up quite a muted dress. But also, I think you can just have fun with it. You could either go matchy and do like something similar colours, like pale blue, or you could just do like a bright red or something really like a statement. But so it just depends what you fancy. But I think silver would be my bet because I love something a bit disco-y.
I love a silver shoe. That's a really good idea. And what about in terms of accessories? I love the way this tiara moves. Can you see? It's crazy. So Nat, in terms of accessories then, sort of to go with more simple dresses, what do we think works for that? Should we accessorize?
Yes, definitely. I'm for accessories, so I'm going to say yes. But if you're going to have something that's simple, then you might actually want to really pop with your accessory. So we actually put this incredible bow in Liv's hair for the app. You need to go and check it out because it looks incredible. So I'd go for something like that if you're going to have something very simple. If you're not one for something completely huge, I would go for this little one. This is from Rock and Rose, and I actually think it looks very Dolce & Gabbana. So that's a little tip for that one too. You can always do something simple as well and just get a beautiful diamante piece to go into your hair. Just make sure that you have enough grip in your hair, so you want to back comb whichever section you're going to be pinning it to.
And Liv, what about floral crowns? Because we're still seeing those. They're just not going anywhere, are they? The floral crowns are going to be with us. And you're wearing one in the app, and it looks amazing. But how do we feel about those? Do we still like those? Are they good for prom?
I love them. I think it's a really nice way of kind of doing something a bit more bohemian and a bit more kind of 70s-y, hippie inspired. I think it's just a nice, especially if you've got quite long hair and you don't want to have to pin it all up, or if you're a bit more casual, I think it's just such a nice way. And especially if you've got like a really flowy dress on, it's a nice kind of way of a nod to someone like Kate Bush.
Perfect. Right, what's next then? So, this is another one for you, Nat.
Yep.
What would you say is the best way to make sure your makeup stays on all night? That's from Christina Story.
Oh, great question, because you want that to stay on all night long. You don't want to have to go to the bathroom and reapply time after time again. So first step, base. You need to make sure that your moisturizer has actually gone into your skin. So I would leave it for about 10 minutes at least before applying your primer. Primer is a must. If you want it to stay on your face and not slide down, you need to have a primer. And then Urban Decay actually do this great little makeup setting spray. So once you've done your whole face of makeup, I'm talking eyes, lips, face, the whole kit and caboodle, you want to spray this just all over your face and it'll stick.
Amazing. Could you just do that on a normal? I'm going to do that every day. Every day is going to be prom day from now on for me. Right, so another one for Liv. We've got @MariaDavis30. What colour dress is the best if you want to look elegant and not too over the top?
I'm not sure there is like just a colour. It depends how you wear it. I suppose if you've got like a red dress, if it's all over sequins, that's not subtle. But I think you could just it's about the shape more than the colour perhaps. So you could do something perhaps like, I think 50s dresses are always a really safe bet for quite a subtle look, or something perhaps by A-line. But I think if you are really like conscious of the colour, I think pastels and nudes, and I think you could do a really lovely like black or white dress, and I think you could really go out with accessories. I think that's a really good base to kind of play with and have fun.
Yeah, because I think one of the things is it's a bit weird to suddenly kind of change your entire fashion persona for prom. So it's like either you're going to be a red dress with sequins girl or a kind of nude pretty girly dress girl. You're not suddenly kind of going to wear the other if you're normally that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just kind of embrace it and you just, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What about ideas to jazz up a black dress, though? Because I guess a lot of girls maybe think, if I get a black dress, I'm definitely going to wear that again. It's a really good, and it's quite simple, so it's not as obvious that you've worn it, you know. So how are we going to jazz that up then?
Well, I think that you need to get a little bit creative with the colours that you normally would use. So if you normally do a cat eye flick, like Liv is wearing at the moment, which I love, maybe go for a blue. That was actually seen on a lot of catwalks. So navy, you can even go a metallic bright blue, just something that'll make it pop, but you can still stick with what you know. I would also say do a popping lip, and Revlon actually have these new amazing lip stains, and they will stick on all night as well, and they really pop. I'm actually going to open one and just show you a little bit on my hand so that everyone can see. See?
Ooh.
Nice and popping. Yeah.
See, Nat's done this before. She always brings props with her.
Yes, I do.
That. Yeah, that's a prop. So how do you do a prom look, though? I guess this is back to the black dress thing, Liv. What about a prom look that's timeless and elegant? What if we want to do that? So that when we look at photos in 10 years' time, we don't kind of go, oh!
I don't know, I think in terms of timelessness, when I think of prom, I always kind of think 50s, kind of big skirt, nice fitted like top. And I think that's one of those universal flattering shapes as well. So you can see it on any kind of shape or figure, and it does do a lot of favours for everyone. So I think if you just had like a simple kind of 50s dress or with like a 3/4 sleeve, I think that always looks beautiful, and you can kind of play it with different colours and accessories, but the dress shape itself will always be really like, oh, prom, and it's really princessy and classic.
Here's a really, really specific one, Liv, actually. This is from Ebony Lauren Nash. My graduation ball is next month, and if anyone knows where I can find a long-sleeved, low V-cut dress that doesn't look like it's been made out of tin foil, I would love you for life. Low-cut V. Where are we going to find one of those?
I have actually seen a couple in French Connection, like quite low cut with like a sleeve, but they're quite basic, so you have got that kind of freedom to dress it up with accessories or other things. And I think Oh My Love had some really nice deep V-neck dresses which you could play with, and they had some really cool colours, so both of those are quite good for the plunging neckline.
And a lot of the high street stores actually have kind of dedicated prom sections on their websites as well now. So ASOS have quite a big prom section, which is a great place to look. And Topshop have done a whole prom kind of range. So there's actually, it's making it much easier, I think, for consumers to actually sort of find the prom ranges out there.
Definitely.
Okay, so Nat, what about prom hair in general? What are we doing with our hair? If we're not curling it, what else are we doing with it?
Well, you know, I do bring props, so I've actually printed off a few pics that I was having a look through when we did our weekly app. So I have them on my desk, and I'm going to show them. I personally love Blake Lively's double plait. I mean, that looks absolutely incredible, and I think that if you're wearing something that's very sweetheart cut, it'll look quite nice. Another one who I'm loving is Ariana Grande.
Oh yeah, I love that too.
Yeah, she looks gorgeous, and she does this with her hair like all the time, and it never gets old because it looks incredible every time. So that's a half updo, and it'd be really easy to, you know, put something really cute there. It gives a little bit of grip. But if you want to go sleek, can't go wrong with Cara Delevingne and her high top bun. I think that would look perfect with a tiara. Maybe your tiara, Vic.
Yeah. And actually, you could probably do that last one yourself, right? But the other two, you're going to have to get the hairdressers, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think for the last one, definitely you could do it yourself. Just make sure that the bun is actually really glossy, so use quite a bit of product. But yeah, for the other ones, I think it's a hairstyling job.
Okay, good tip. What about you, Liv? Could you suggest, this is from Sophie Goons, could you suggest some good websites and shops for prom dresses?
So obviously ASOS and Topshop, classic kind of go-to places for everything basically, but especially prom dresses. I really love Virgo's Lounge. They have some really beautiful, like sparkly kind of 20s inspired dresses. Miss Selfridge do really beautiful kind of prom dresses. River Island have got some really cool things. I think they're like the typical high street ones. I mean, I like brands like Dahlia. They have some more kind of casual take on like pretty dresses, so I think they're the kind of things you could wear again, and you could just accessorize and things like that. And there's also one more brand. It's kind of a bit more like if you've got more of a budget, but Mrs. Pomeranz, they do really beautiful kind of 50s inspired like dresses, so that's always good for prom.
Great, and do you get those online?
Yes, all available online.
So they just Google Mrs. Pomeran.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What about prom no-nos? Both of you, let's do this for both of you. What's a big prom no-no?
We're both like thinking.
I think being dull. I think that's going to be my prom no-no. I'm going to kick it off with, I think you've got to make an effort. You've got to do something that you wouldn't normally wear. Like, I don't see the point of wearing like your work outfit to go to your prom.
Yeah, I would say that probably a prom no-no is worrying too much. You're there to have fun. Don't go and worry about, whether your hair's in perfect place and whether your lipstick's still on and showing. And like you need to remember that you're there to have fun and make sure you get on that dance floor.
Yeah, and be comfortable and travel light. Don't have tons of stuff with you. A little bag, essentials. Don't want to be dancing with like a massive bag or anything.
Didn't you? And Liv, you had a camera at your dance.
Yeah, I had a really big like SLR, and I think I just had to keep looking at places, and it was lugging it around. It just didn't look cool. I wasn't a Polaroid. It wasn't something I could kind of be like, oh, it's part of my outfit. It was just a burden.
I think that sounds quite cool though, right?
Yeah, I think that sounds cool. Another one that I'd say is just be careful of the revealing stuff. You want to make sure that everything is lovely.
Yeah, that's good, because you don't want anything on Facebook that you don't want on Facebook, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
And another general, what do we feel about flat shoes? Because we were discussing this, weren't we, earlier, that I quite like a flat shoe because I'm quite practical, and I just think by the end of the evening I'm going to be so excited when I'm in my flat ballet pumps. But never going to happen with it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do a flat shoe, but if I did have to do a flat shoe, it would be a popping sneaker. It would be something really, really cool.
What about you, Liv? Flats or heels?
I'm quite small, so I like heels to kind of lift me up and make my legs look a bit more like long and lovely. But I think if I was to do a flat, I think I love all the kind of Valentino-inspired, like strappy flats. I think they'd be a really pretty kind of way of doing the whole flat thing if I was feeling practicality over height.
Yeah, Pretty Ballerina do really nice ones too. They've got those pointed ones that have a little bit of mesh on the side.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can get those nice ones with the neon colour pop as well, and I like that look with like. Yeah, that's a good one. There you go. That's the flat shoe conundrum sorted. And then, so Nat, what are we taking in our bag? What's the sort of must-have survival kit that will fit in a bag this big?
Okay, I would say you definitely need something for your lips, even if it's just a gloss, because eventually you're going to want to put something on your lips. I mean, if I get dry lips. So I would have a gloss in there, or a lipstick, or whatever you've decided to put on. I would also have a powder, or my favorite, which are blotting papers. And your iPhone, definitely your iPhone. You got to snap, snap, snap away.
Perfect. Liv, and what about the bag sitch? Do they have to be this big, or do we think we can take a bag to prom that's this big? I don't know. How big could we go?
Take a bag that was that big to prom, but it's just turning it around. Like, he wants to be like cutting shapes with a bag that's like bashing everyone. Like, I think you can go like that envelope cut size, and just as long as it's not going to be something that's going to be in your way, or you, like, can't tuck it under your arm. So just something with a strap preferably as well, so you can use your arms for dancing.
Perfect. So that, I think we've probably covered everything. I think prom's going to be great this year. I'm excited about prom. I think we're going to all wear prom dresses tomorrow in the office. Is that right, Nat?
Yes. Woo! Also, your tiara is still going strong.
That's amazing. So yeah, and then we've got loads of content on Company.co.uk all about prom. That's going to see you right through till your prom actually happens. We've got dresses, we've got Nat doing beauty hauls, we've got makeup and hair tips, and we've got all sorts of questions that you might want answering. Whatever you need to know, it'll be on there. And thank you, Liv. Thanks for doing the Hangout. It's been brilliant. And thanks for being on our app cover. So please check out Liv's blog as well, which is www.whatoliviadid.com, and send us any further questions on Twitter, and we'll try to get back to you. So have fun. Have a nice prom.
Bye.